sum.
It's a sum of what's happened now and before. So it's a sum of the current plus the previous classes. Okay, so let's talk about the midpoint. Midpoint of this class, to find out the midpoint, you add the two, I'm going to write that down here too. To find the midpoint, you add the end points of the class and divide by 2. Sometimes it's really easy to figure out the middle. For example, what's the middle of 1 and 5? Nope. 3. It would be 2.5 if it was 0 through 5. 3 is the middle of 1 and 5. Everybody understand that? But if it's a hard, like, it's not really that hard to figure out what the middle of 1 to 5 is. But if it was like your bottom number was 47 and your top number was 152, just add the two numbers, divide by 2. It'll find you the midpoint. So this one is 3. 6 plus 10 is 16, divided by 2 is 8. 11 through 15, halfway point is 13. This one's 18. Notice that these are also jumping by 5. Okay, relative frequency. This is where you're going to want your calculator. All right, I've got 3 people that were in this first class out of 7. So in my calculator, I'm going to type in 3 out of 7. And I get 0.43 approximately. About 43% of us are in that first class. What times we've been to the ER. Next one will be 2 out of 7, which is 0.29. And then 1 out of 7, which is 0.14 here and here. What should these ones add up to? 1 or 100%. So I'm going to type in 0.43 plus 0.29 plus 0.14 plus 0.14, and I got 1. And that's your second check to see if you're doing things right. They should add up to about 100%. Now, what if it ended up being 1.01? Is that possible?
Technically, yes, because you're rounding up.
Right, because I'm rounding. If I had the exact numbers, it would not be possible, but because I'm rounding, you might get 0.99 or you might get 1.01, and those are fine. How about 1.1? Would that be fine? No, that means you're 10% off, which is too far off. The most you'd be off if you're rounding is 1% or 2% max. Cumulative frequency, this category has 3 in it. And then 5, because this one is 3 plus 2, the previous 2. So it's just like, it's like a running total. What would the next one be? 6, and then 7, and that's your third checkpoint, is to see that these two should match. That's your total number of data points. Okay, that is how to do a frequency distribution. It's not too complicated. You just got to follow the directions. I think probably the hardest part is making sure your classes are right to begin with, and then the rest kind of goes. Your homework for tonight, which is due tomorrow, is to make a frequency distribution of the first cousins. And right now, we've got like 5 minutes, and I want you to start it with your partner, okay? And I want 4 classes again. By the way, these don't always have 4 classes. Sometimes they've got 8, sometimes they've got 2. Depends on what you want your graph to look like, but I'm going to go with 4 classes, okay? All right, start with your partner, please. at least come up with the like the class with your partner. So scoot your desks next to each other, come on.